How do you think AI is going to be leveraged to identify spend that doesn't contribute to pipeline and improves marketing efficiency? How are you guys thinking about that?
It's a good question. I keep on finding, I mentioned this earlier, like the plays, like a lot of times we have customers, if they're using demand-based, they ask me like, hey, how would you, this demand-based program isn't doing very well. What do you think, Chris? And if I dig into it to find out why it's not, I'm like, well, your audience is really small companies to really large companies. I go, if you segment this audience and use demand-based just for the larger businesses and take all those small companies and use Facebook ads,
Mm,
you don't have to spend any more money. Both are going to be way more efficient.
mhm,
And I see that over and over, Phil. And so that's an example where those changes get logged. The
mm.
AI learns from that. And the next person that types in, how do I improve my demand-based campaign? It's going to go look and see is the intended audience. And that's, you know, it's all about who you're marketing and selling to so much. So there's a lot of great technologies out there, but they're not great at everything. And, I could see a future where I upload an audience of 100 companies and the AI tells me what are the most effective vendors at reaching and engaging those, those accounts. I mean, it's coming. So, um, but it's not just which vendors. It's if I put in another 10,000 into LinkedIn, what can I expect? Based on historical results and based on benchmarks and things like that.
Mhm. You mentioned that like your first entrepreneurial venture, supply base, and like the first version of demand base was like too early for the market. Like you were a bit too early, like people weren't ready for it. Do you think people are ready for AI taking over a lot of these things? Like how do you foresee, and maybe you've already done some of these things like in sales conversations where you're talking to marketing leaders and CMOs and you're just like AI is going to tell you what is going to happen with the next $100 that you put in LinkedIn or Meta. Like, how do you deal with the objections of people saying like, I'm not ready for AI to like make those decisions. Like, I don't know if I trust it yet. Like, I've got a data team or I've got a marketing ops team that's telling me differently. How do you compete with those like objections in this like AI powered world?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Well, so, within the marketing world, AI is being used for writing content,
Yeah.
right? But it's not as good as a great journalist, right? So there's some shortcomings. And I would say the same thing in design and PowerPoints. And um, it's just not as good as a great designer. And if there is a place where it should be used, it's marketing ops because of the vast amount of data to synthesize and understand. And so to your question, the overword used of copilot is actually pretty appropriate because I do think people want the recommendation, but they want to understand why.
Mm,
It, you know, the AI cannot be a black box
no.
solution. It has to say like, it, you know, with your incremental $10,000, we think you'll generate $100,000 of additional pipeline. Here's why, and
Mhm.
have it generate the chart and show you the data. Cut and paste and put it into your PowerPoint to present to the exec team. Um, so I think that's going to be really important. But the speed at which you can also synthesize that data and get you know foundational information and insights to make those recommendations can be really important.
Very cool. Yeah, I love the point about AI can't be a black box. Like you can't trust that black box. I think like AI black boxes have been around forever. Like my first taste of it was like AI powered lead scoring tools. And I think like Mixpanel had one of the first ones and Mad Kudu. And like they couldn't tell you why. It was just like, just trust us. This is a good lead. And like part of it was just like proprietary, I guess, and why it was a black box. But that helps so much with that objection of just like we're going to tell you why. Like, here's all the data points, and here's the historical data on why those data points led to those conversions. And I think that's a really good step in the right direction for marketers and marketing ops folks working with AI tools.
Yeah. Well, and we saw the same thing years ago at Demandbase, where, you would rank accounts based on intent and you'd score them on which ones to prioritize. And it was really important for customers to understand, why did this score so high?
Yeah.
And it's fit, but it's also, they have these technologies. There's a trend in their company reading information about this and this and this, and this is why. If we would have just said the score, it wouldn't have been good enough.
Yeah, let me click on the score and see the activity log and ranked by like color. What were the most like important features in that model? And yeah, I think that's the right way to think about it.